All right. So we did student feedback, and we got about where it is. So we got about around 200 emails in total. I was hoping for a lot more, but 200 is still a good amount of information. So there was a couple things. I've got my notes section pulled up in front of me right now. There was a couple things that stood out the most, and there's actually two things that stood out the most, and then a couple others which I'll go into after this. So the number one thing that people said they did not like about MissionFX was the way that the group chat is being done. So I'm going to read you what some of our I took notes about this. I'm not reading anyone's direct responses via the email, but I'm reading my notes that I've made about this. So the group chat participants, people said that things can get distracting. Different strategies confuse people. People sharing trades without any analysis and just posting their profits. The group chat was referred to as chaotic, with dick swingers and people who are being rude and disrespectful. And some people told me that they felt uncomfortable even sharing analysis because they were afraid they would be criticized by the people in the group chat that are being assholes. So, pretty valuable feedback here. The suggestions were two suggestions that stood out the most. One was to have multiple Discord channels for different topics. So, and we'll go over that here in a second. Some of the stuff that I've already gotten planned for that, or like loosely planned for that. So that's the first thing. Suggestions for multiple Discord channels for different topics, and the second thing was a vetting process. So for those of you who don't know what vetting is essentially it's like a qualification process for joining the group chat. And what I sort of put together was here. I could say in the course, I should make a video explaining how the group chat works and the prerequisites for joining the group chat are our entire course completion. You have to complete the entire course first. We'll go and check before you're added to the group chat. And the second thing is a 1 month minimum of demo testing and journaling proof prior to joining the chat. And then third thing would obviously be you have to be a client, which is how we verify you guys. You guys send us your emails in Discord. That way no one random can join. Like we physically go and check every email and make sure everyone's only added once. So it keeps a bunch of fucking crazy people out of the chat. So yeah, just pretty much a basic vetting process is what people suggested. They either said multiple Discord channels and a vetting process. I'm thinking both. So a vetting process I'd love to do because what I found is that some people, even though I literally have it in 3 different sections of the course where it says do not join the chat until after you've completed the course, um, it's like it literally says it in all capital letters in the module and in like 3 different videos as well in the course, but people still join the chat like without like they buy the course, they go right into the thing, join the chat, and they pop into the chat and they see all this shit and it's just really confusing. And I think that's very detrimental because then it means people are not focusing on their own trading. It means that they're getting really distracted by what other people are doing in the chat. And then they see people like, oh, look, I'm trading US 30 and I'm scalping, which may be good for certain people in our chat. But for new people just getting into the game, they're thinking like, okay, Nick teaches, daily and H4 charts. That's what I'm supposed to be focused on apparently. But now I'm seeing these people trading the minute 5 chart on US 30 and it looks like they're killing it. Maybe I should do that instead. It's very detrimental to the learning process. So I'm thinking a vetting process. Everyone who joins the chat will be required to complete the course. So that way we know we're on the same page. Second thing is that they'll need to have a 1 month minimum demo testing and journaling. And they'll have to send us a link to their trading journal to prove they've actually been applying the stuff and taking the action to gather the data. So that way everybody's on the same page in the chat. So the rules would be, I came up with 3 simple rules. Number 1 would be to be respectful and kind to every member at all times. Otherwise you will get removed immediately. Number 2 would be do not cross promote or solicit other trading content or services within the MFX Discord servers. Otherwise you'll be removed immediately. And 3 would be just to use your best judgment to choose which sub chat to share your ideas or have conversations in. Some ideas for the sub chats I had an idea was a read-only channel called the Updates channel, where I would just share updates about MissionFX. A second one would be Nick's Analysis channel, and it would be, obviously where I share my trading analysis and stuff like that going into 2021, sharing setups, trades I'm in, stuff like that. The third thing, which would be, a group chat where people could engage in, would be a trend setups trading channel. Another one would be range trading setups. Another one would be divergent setups. We'll touch on this in a second, but I got a couple emails of people asking me they would really love to learn divergence because a lot of people know that that's how I got profitable trading. And the only reason I stopped teaching it was because it was very complicated to teach people because it relies on a lot of discretion. But some people have asked that, hey, Nick, you literally got profitable trading that and you were doing that for like over a year. Why not just teach that in your course as well and let us have the information? We can do whatever we want with it. So I'm considering putting a divergence trading section into the chat and add that to the course as just something people can use to test in their trading system. And then the final one for actual chatting about trade setups would be a group chat made specifically for experimental setups. So a lot of you guys who are trading, you you don't always trade exactly the same way. In fact, nobody trades exactly the same way as me or anyone else. Everybody has their own little approach to doing it. Some people will take certain trades, other people would pass, other people would say, oh, it doesn't make sense to me, but this one over here does. And so since everyone's different, it makes sense to have like an experimental trading chat. So that way people who want to trade market maker, bank liquidity, stop hunt, wick off trading system strategies, they can all go in there and they can sort of brainstorm in that chat group experimental setups. And then everybody else who wants to just focus on trend trading, they can all have their own little click within trend trading. People who want to trade ranges or like extreme levels, daily highs and lows, people can get in that one. People who just want to trade divergence, on the minute 1, minute 5, H4, daily chart, whatever the fuck it is, anyone who wants to trade divergence can all pop in there and share just those setups in there. And so this would sort of compartmentalize everything to where everybody has their own little group chat within MissionFX with their own little like-minded people that they can go in and share setups. And it also removes all the racket and the noise from just having one chat. I was against having one chat for so long because I thought it would be too much complexity, and I like to keep things really simple. So I thought one updates channel and one group chat would be good. But based on feedback from you guys, I had literally half the email said something about having like a change in the group chat, having a vetting process, or having multiple channels with different topics. So that way people could go into those different channels. And looking at this from an objective point of view, I agree. I think that's a great idea. So that's those. The last things on here after experimental setups would be a couple different chats, 3 of them, which would be the first one would be the fundamentals chat. So it'd be like for fundamental news events, like if someone wants to share, hey, I just found out like some news on GBP, Brexit is blah 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 or whatever, or hey, for USD, the president announced this, this, and this, and it's causing a panic in the market. And so people could share their fundamental news updates and ideas within this fundamental news chats. So that way it could be another resource, like an information resource for people who don't want to go to Google or Forex Live or whatever, and they can go and see if any of our clients who are actively using this stuff in their trading to be profitable are posting in the fundamental news section. They can go into MissionFX server and they can get all the information they need about fundamental news because people are posting in there. And so I think that would be beneficial to have a section about that in the chat where it's just a chat where people can share fundamental trading ideas and news events and updates. Another one would be a mindset chat. So people who are wanting to optimize their trading routine or figuring out how to be more patient, they can pop in the chat and they can ask other people like, hey guys, I'm having trouble finding a lot of patience in my trading. I have like 1 to 3 risk rewards, but I close out after 1 to 1 all the time. Do any of you guys have any advice for holding trades longer? And then other people who are in that mindset chat, they'll be in all these chats, but other people who can see that can jump out and say, hey, I used to have the same issue. I used to be really impatient and I'll always close my trades out at break even or at 1-to-1 profit. But I found through testing that if I hold it to a 1 to 2, then I can like do this, or I can hold it all the way to a 1 to 3, or I make sure my entry's good or whatever. This allowed me to be more patient. And then people within that chat can get that information and say, you know what, that was really helpful. That's what worked to them. Maybe I'll test that out for myself and see. But having sort of a mindset psychology chat, I think would be really useful as well. And of course, I could pop in there all the time as well. One of the last chats would be a hangout chat. This would be a chat that's very similar to how MissionFX is right now, which it would be a hangout chat where you can talk about whatever the fuck you want. It can be a shit show. It can be a wolf pit. There can be everyone saying all sorts of shit in there. And if you just want to chat about life or whatever, it could all be in that hangout chat. The hangout chat will be completely unrelated to all the other ones. So meaning if you just want to focus on trend trading, the only people who are posting in there will be focused strictly on trend trading, breaks and retest, confluence like Fibonacci, divert or Fibonacci, and trend lines, just pretty much trading with trends. People who just want to trade like daily ranges or like extreme highs or lows or whatever range setups, they could just be in there. People who are just trading divergence or just trading experimental setups that are outside of what I teach at MissionFX, you could each have your own group within MissionFX to sort of find. It's like having like a cafeteria at college or at your school, and you all have to be in the same cafeteria, but you can choose which table you want to sit at, and you can choose the type of people that you want to be around. And I think this would really help MissionFX be a lot more inclusive of all the various different people and different trading strategies and different trading systems that people develop as a result of building upon what I teach. So that last thing, a hangout chat, would just be kind of a place where we can all just like shoot the shit and just chat about whatever. And the last thing would just be a testimonials page, where if you want to share a testimonial, or if you want to share like maybe some feedback, or if you want to share your profits or whatever, you could post in that testimonial strip page. It'd be one location for not only me and my team to see it, but also other people as well could see that, and it'll keep things really transparent with student results and then things that could potentially improve and stuff, assuming it's respectful. So this is what I've gathered for the students group chat. To recap, what I'm considering doing is I'm considering just putting multiple Discord channels within the MissionFX server, and also including a vetting process for people have to meet certain requirements before joining. It cannot be anyone fucking random who just bought the course immediately joining and completely lost. You will have to complete the entire course, and you'll have to have a trading journal, and you'll have to have a month worth of trading like content in there prior to joining the chat. This ensures that you've completed all of the topics in the course and that you've completely got the education. Kind of the point of buying the program, right? Going through the actual course. And the second thing is it ensures that you've taken the action items. So it ensures that you've actually started to apply the stuff you've learned in the program. You've actually put your trading system together, and you've actually started to test it and started to gather data. So I don't know if I'm going to do like 2 weeks of journal proof before joining the chat, or 1 month or something like that. We're still going to decide, and that's kind of what this Zoom session is about, to kind of get a little bit of feedback on that. So those are the two things: the vetting process, as well as multiple channels, and then just some basic rules about being respectful, no solicitation of external groups, and using your best judgment to like choose kind of, okay, I want to share something, but which chat should I do it in? I'm going to use my best judgment to kind of pick which chat would be best to share this in. And I also give you the different server ideas. So that's what I have for the first thing about the group chat. I have a couple more things, but I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to turn everything over to you guys for a second to ask if you guys have any questions about this, like the group chat, any suggestions, anything like that. So I'm going to open up the microphones for you guys, and you guys can also post in the chat if you'd like. And yeah, so anyway, if you have any questions about the group chat or any suggestions you want to add, hop on your microphone or put it in the chat, and I'm going to give a few minutes here and we can chat about this. So Dell says, I don't think many people actually do the demo period at all. It's an interesting thought. I wonder what the actual metrics are. Paul says you could also do roles, like if they're a scalper, it'll appear near their name or what strategy they're using. You can put it on Discord. Cool. Neil says, these will be great improvements. Thanks for taking on feedback and listening, Nick. Unfortunately, I need to hop off for work now for a work call. It's okay, Neil. Thank you for your feedback yesterday as well in your email. Your email was one of the most valuable ones, is what me, Stefan, and Johnny said. So I appreciate that. Gregory, suggestion, a place for newbies to go on Discord if they need help with material. Interesting. Praveen, sounds great, liking the upcoming changes. Okay, cool. Cool. So you guys have shared a little bit of thoughts in here. Jerry says, sounds great. Jerry, your email is very helpful as well. I really appreciate that. All of you guys' responses were good, but the criticisms and the detailed responses is what really helped us sort of identify this stuff. Okay, cool. So any of you have any questions or want to hop on a microphone and to give maybe suggestions or maybe anything else you guys want to chat about?
I have something. What about a template on how we analyze our trades? For example, we have to analyze if it's a break, a retest, or whatever else, on what time frame. I don't, like a template with questions. So it's always the same template for all the trades. So we know also how the other people are analyzing their trades based on the same template.
Okay, cool. I don't think I'm understanding exactly what you mean by template. Like,
Okay, I'm going to send you an email, so it's going to be more clear to you. Okay.
absolutely. That sounds amazing. I really appreciate
Uh,
that. Thank you for taking the time.
okay. Good.
Perfect. Anybody else have anything about the group chat they'd like to add or say or suggest or criticize? Feel free. All right. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. And if you guys do have anything, pop it in the chat and then we'll talk. So the first thing was the group chat, a murderous amount of information about the group chat. And I guess to finish this up, Stu posted right here. I like seeing everything in the chat. How about having a color scheme for Nick strategy posts and not Nick strategy posts? You could easily see what's relevant or not. You could even have a button to turn off all non-Nick strategy if you don't want to see it. I don't like the idea of having to look in main chats to see everything. You see, Stu, that's so you and I sort of share the same perspective, but you are the first person aside from myself who has shared this perspective. Everybody else that I've seen that has messaged me, and I mean everybody, has embraced the idea of having multiple chats. I haven't seen one person tell me, "Hey Nick, I like having the one chat," except for you. But I feel the same as you. But I think having multiple chats, like say for instance, Stu, you want the here's the good part about it, which I was blind to like earlier this year. The good part about having multiple chats is if you want to just trade quote unquote Nick strategy, like my strategy, it's pretty much trend trading most of the time, right? Um, and I'm also going to update with you guys with how I'm planning on changing MissionFX in 21. But let's just say for the time being, like it's mainly trend trading, right? Breaks and retests, shit like that. You could literally just go into the trend trading setups and you could mute every other chat. And then only people who are posting in there are trading like with the trend trading setups, which is all pretty much the same shit. It's variations of the same stuff, right? Breaks and retests, trend line rejections, uptrend, downtrend, pullbacks to Fibonacci zones, maybe combined with horizontal levels and trend lines. So that's the cool part about having multiple chats is you can say, all right, there's all this shit I could do, but if I just want to do one or two, I can just have those and I can mute everything else and I can just be active in the chats that I want to be active in. And then everybody else can talk about their market maker liquidity, stop hunt, wick off, crazy trading system if they want, right? Like in the experimental chat, it could be everything that's not like everything else above, trend trading setups, divergence, trend trading or range trading, shit like that. So that's the cool parts too. But you make a good point, and that's the point that I embraced for a long time. I'm like, I don't want to have a million chats. What the fuck? Let's just have one and let's all chat. But it's created a lot of issues because I've been having a lot of clients that are afraid to post in there or are put off by posting in there because it's just so crazy and there's so much nonsense. Because there is a lot of nonsense in there, in my opinion, right now. There's a lot of crazy shit, and there's some people who are kind of disrespectful, kind of what we could call dick swingers. I don't want to use any names because I don't want to offend anyone, but I mean, that's just the truth. If I'm looking objectively, that's the truth about how the group chat is right now. And so to change that, we would get that in place to make it better for clients that everybody have a good experience by having different servers and also having a vetting process. So that way, no one random can just join the group. I have people who have joined the chat who have not completed the program or even started a demo account to practice, like in a trading journal. They're trading their $100 live account a week after finishing the course without even testing anything, and it's just crazy. And people who are not following like sort of like the training, they're less likely to get good results, and we know that from data. So very good input, Stu. Thank you. I'm going to move on to the next thing right here. First thing was the group chat, so we've talked about that. The second biggest thing, there's a couple others, but these are the two biggest things. The second biggest thing was these live sessions. People said the live sessions are great, so that's good. So we're making a lot of progress there in terms of like the live sessions being useful and beneficial and valuable. But here's the thing people did not like. They do not like that the live session times are random and spontaneous. They're pretty much just depend on me getting up and feeling like doing a live session or feeling like there's enough stuff going on in the market to where the live session will be interesting. So it's entirely random, it's entirely spontaneous, and it's not predictable. I've had people say that they would love to plan the night before to get up early to be on the live sessions, but they don't know if I'm doing one or not. So they don't set their alarm or they don't get up early and they wake up and see we've had a live session and that's that. And also, I have people who for some reason don't have Discord like turned on or whatever, so they don't get the notifications, or sometimes Discord acts up. So sometimes people don't join the live sessions even if they're ready to do one because they don't get a notification or something. And also, So that's the first thing is notifications before live sessions. And the solution I put in place for this that I want to put in is scheduling out all live sessions. There would be 4 per week, 2 would be in the morning, and then 2 would be in the evening. And it would be on different days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would be for 4 days for live sessions. 2 of those days would be in the morning, and the other 2 would be in the evenings. And I'll tell you why. So MissionFX is promoted as something to where, hey, you get this, 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 and this, and you also get live sessions. But if you are a client who has purchased the MissionFX full program from Australia or the United Kingdom or pretty much anywhere else that's not directly in the United States time zone, you're fucked because the live sessions occur in the middle of the day or in early in the morning or late at night if you're in a different country. And so to solve this problem, because like that's a huge problem, I've decided, okay, so that means that to equally include them, because I have just as many clients overseas as I do here in the States, to equally include those people, I need to have a way to do live sessions to where so that people could actually hop on. So what I'm planning on doing is testing times, which would be either in the middle of the day for me here, like maybe 1 or 2 p.m., or later in the evening, like 3 or 4 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. even, and kind of test and see what would work to where the most amount of people could get on live sessions and do the Q&A calls. And it may have to be something like I do, one live session really early in the morning, and then one live session kind of a little bit later in the morning, Central Standard Time here in the US. And then I do a third live session in the week, maybe around noon or 1 or 2 p.m. my time. This would be like in the evening in the UK. And then I could also do a live session once a week late at night, which would allow my people from like Australia and other countries like that to hop on. So the problem, the live sessions aren't scheduled, they're sporadic. People don't like that. And then the solution would be to just simply schedule them out. And then also, the second problem with live sessions was that not everyone's able to do them because even if they are scheduled, some people, if I'm doing a live session here at 8 a.m. in the morning, that's 2 p.m. over there in the UK. People are like picking up their kids from school, like John, or wait, yeah, no, Paul or John, what the fuck? Who is this? So people are picking up their kids from school. People are, working and like have like people who are mechanics like Joe and then one of my new clients working in the middle of the day. They can't be on these live sessions. And so the solution to that would be to just structure live sessions to where there'd be 1 or 2 in the morning Central Standard Time and then 1 or 2 in the evening or afternoon. Like I said, we'd have to test, but there would be multiple live sessions per week so that every single person who is a MissionFX client has at least one opportunity per week to catch a live session. There will be 4 of them at different times, and they will all be scheduled. And so people can look at their weeks in advance and say, all right, I know there's going to be a live session on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and so I'll be on there. And so those would be the 2 things. The third thing, which is actually what Greg just posted right here, is I posted right here in my notes, I said record each live session. Every live session will be recorded. There's going to be no sporadic like, oh, I might record this and I might not. Every live session will be recorded and posted into the course, or I'm thinking about posting them in a different location. Like in the course, I'll have like a section that says live session recordings, and it'll be a clickable link that will take you to a page, which will have links to all of the different live sessions to view. So that way, because if I start putting them all in the course would become very cluttered at the end with a ton of live sessions, and it would also fuck up course completion metrics. Like people will complete the whole course, but that may be 30%, and then 70% maybe like all the live session recordings. So it might screw up like course completion metrics. So I could just have like one module in the course that says, here's all the live session recordings. And then I could create either like a Dropbox or a Google Drive or something that would allow people to click on those links to view all those live sessions, or maybe have them on YouTube as unlisted links. In fact, that's what I probably will do. I'm going to put that right here. YouTube unlisted links. And all I do is I would post the links in there, and I'd put the date of each live session, so whoever wants to go and watch them could go and do that. So those are the things with live sessions. Again, just to recap, the problem people have with live sessions is they're not scheduled. The solution will be to schedule them. Number 2, people have problems with the times of the live session. Some people aren't able to do that. The solution would be to have multiple live sessions per week at different times that would sort of encapsulate like 95% of my clients, to where that most people could jump on and find a time per week if they needed to, if not everyone. And the third thing would be to just record all live sessions so people who can't make the calls can be able to see them via unlisted links on YouTube. and all those links would be in one location in the course. So that's the second biggest issue people had with MissionFX. I got that in like 30-40% of emails along with the group chat. And these are my solutions I think would really help to fix it. So now I'm going to turn it over to you guys before we go over the last couple topics. What do you guys think? Any criticisms, any comments, any things that you guys think could help improve this more? Let's chat about it. Drop it in the chat or hop on a microphone. I'll wait.
What's up, Nick? This is Lamar here.
What's up, bro?
No, I think that idea sounds pretty good. I know there's a lot of people that like, I've been getting messages. I've been actually kind of even like, sharing markups to charts to a few people who are just saying like, they're having a hard time with like their entries. Like some people, they're just like not looking at market structure, like, higher high, higher low, higher high, buy at the higher low, or, in the opposite direction. I don't know if it makes sense to have like a loss review type section to where some people have, they're losing, but they're not really understanding. I know, everybody's supposed to be journaling trades and then go back over them. But if they can get like critiqued by someone else and get another view by someone else on like a chart markup or why they lost, I think that'll be something that'll help people understand, why they're losing if they're able to if we have like a section that you can put like either just like chart markups and we can put like comments or some type of Zoom session or something that, they can hop on. That'll be pretty good. Everybody would they'll figure it out.
Yeah, Lamar, I love that idea. What could we name that chat? We could, because we'd have to name it in Discord. What would be a good name for that? Like
I don't know,
trade
something like
reviews,
a
like
weekly loss review or something like that. But I know that'll help a couple people because what I've understood from my trading originally when I first started, I did the journal, but then at a point in time, I seen you kind of went away from it just a little bit. Yeah, journal analysis sounds good. I remember you kind of went away from it a little bit. So I kind of backed off of it a little bit as well. And I was trading, but I wasn't, I can go back and look in the MetaTrader 4 to see my entries and, look at I can go back and review it, but I wasn't actually doing that. So I was trading. And when you're just trading at the time, just like you say, you're not journaling it, you're just trading at that point in time, you don't know the reason to why you took a trade. You might go back and look at the structure like, wow, I bought right in the middle of right in the middle, there's like a higher high and I bought at a higher, like at a resistance level or something. And just with being able for, somebody else to critique the reason to like why you may have lost, I think that'll help a lot of people with their trading journeys. So
I love that idea. So I just typed in here. I'm looking at a couple of the things. Gregory said journal analysis. Some of you guys suggest other things. Something that I thought of, we could name it trade recaps. So it would look like this. I'll type it in the chat, like in Discord format. What is this shit? Fucking trade. Yeah, trade. So something like that, like trade recaps. So that way, that's pretty straightforward. And of course, there would be a whole video inside the course. People will be forced to watch before joining that says, hey, here's every single server within the Discord. Here's exactly what it's for. Here's exactly what we talk about in there and this and that. I love that idea, Lamar. I'm really glad you shared that because I wouldn't have thought of that myself. Trade recaps, that's very beneficial because then not only are you looking at trades yourself and going over them, you can put it out there and say, hey guys, I noticed I got stopped out on like every day around like 4 p.m. on like half my trades. Does this happen to you guys? Have you guys noticed anything? And then someone may say, oh yeah, that shit happened to me like a couple months ago. And so I stopped trading after maybe noon on New York session or some shit like that. So I think trade recaps would be good. Is there anything else you guys would like to add about that? Or maybe anything else concerning the Oh, anything, live sessions or group chats. What do you guys think? Anything else? Hey, Nick, I know you're against it, but backtesting a strategy to prove that it's viable. Like if you don't know a coin, has a 50-50 probability of winning, you flipped a coin only 10 times, 9 out of 10 it's heads. You think you have heads, 90% chance of winning. Andrew, I agree with you 100%. The video I made about how backtesting is stupid, I was wrong. I think backtesting alone is not 100% great. I still think you need a live forward test. I still think a part of that's true, but I think a big portion of backtesting can actually be beneficially useful. I really challenged a lot of my first principles and a lot of my thinking, a lot of my behavioral patterns and thought patterns this past week and this past weekend, which is why I haven't been super active, like posting a bunch of shit. I was really ripping apart everything that I held sacred and asking what the truth was. And I went, you guys remember how I used to trade Divergence back in 2017? Completely different trading system. I back tested it this weekend and found out it still works fucking amazing. It works fucking crazy amazing, like amazing. But the only reason I stopped teaching it is because I had a lot of trouble 2 years ago teaching it to people and helping them go through learning all the discretion and stuff. And this is starting to play into the last thing I wanted to touch on about where I want MissionFX to go in 2021. But I agree with you, Andrew. I was wrong saying backtesting was completely useless because it's actually pretty useful in gathering some trading rules and kind of seeing how it performs just in a rough sense, and then going and refining that with live forward testing, not live, but demo forward testing in real time, and tracking the results. And then what the fuck? Yeah, you know what I mean, Andrew. Like back testing and then forward testing and then putting that together. So Paul said, so far it's really good. Andrew said yes. Farah said, and you said personal phone calls was enough. What do you mean personal phone calls, Farah? So just to touch on something, you may not mean this, Farah, but if you mean one-on-one sessions, I really want to get away from one-on-one sessions because, so let's read what Andrew said first. When you had one-on-one calls, that was awesome, but I understand MFX is so big, so you only have 24 hours. That's correct, Andrew. And we read your email yesterday, Andrew. You shared a lot of really valuable things in that email. And one thing I remember you touched on was scheduled Zoom calls. You're 100% right. You guys are right. You guys are really right, because here's my side of it. Trying to be someone who is managing like a business and also managing his personal trading and also still wanting to make more money doing it, because I don't want things to remain small. I remember, Andrew, you said you like when MissionFX was smaller. When MissionFX was smaller, maybe it was like, better than it is right now, because right now nothing has been optimized or improved to account for the scale that we've increased. Some of the things that we're doing now will help that. Having different server channels with different niches of trading within MissionFX can allow people to go to like a smaller sort of clique or a smaller group that they can engage with, people that are just like them, and it will have sort of a smaller feel, because it'll be like you walking into a huge auditorium, but then you have special groups of people that are specialized, and everybody can like sort of like have like their own little like group they can be in. So then it kind of still has that small feel. But Andrew, just to touch on what you said in your email yesterday, doing one-on-one sessions would kill the scale at MissionFX. I want MissionFX to grow to be a like $1 million company monthly. Right now, like our sales have gone down crazy. There was months earlier this year where we were hitting over 100K a month in sales. Last month we did like 25K. And the reason is because I haven't been promoting MissionFX as much. Instead, I've been getting my head down and working on creating content and also creating stuff on the back end, like to automate the sales funnel, to automate the marketing so I don't have to do as much, and also to put more automated systems and processes to serve you guys better. So I've taken a huge pay cut for not being as active marketing MissionFX. You guys know I'm barely on Instagram anymore. I haven't posted many YouTube videos the past 2 weeks. Like literally, I've completely like stepped aside from that to just focus on you guys. And it's literally costed me hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've probably left a couple $100,000 on the table the past few months from refusing to continue marketing MissionFX as much as I was, and instead focusing on optimizing it for you guys, doing things like this feedback reviews and stuff. So taking a huge pay cut, but I do want MissionFX to get bigger in the future, which is why I'm putting these in place. So that way the client experience is not degraded by scale, and also so I can make more money doing it. Because ultimately, like last month, 25K at MissionFX, that's how much we made. Trading, I made like 55K. And assuming I continue to get better at trading and my funds get bigger and I can continue risking more and more, there will be months where I'm making 100 to 200K trading, and from MissionFX, I'm making like 50 to 100. There has to be some incentive to keep doing MissionFX, because if it's just stressful and it's this thing that takes like 10, 12 hours a day and it's not fun and I'm not making as much money doing it, I'm just going to eventually stop doing it. I'm eventually going to get burnt out and give up. So the only way to keep me engaged in there is to make sure my clients are doing amazing and to also make sure it's worth my time in terms of from a monetary sense. If I can make at least as much for MissionFX as I do actually trading, then I'm fine with that. So maybe around 50 to 100K a month, I'd be cool with, but I want to scale it up. So Farah says, last year, everything that everyone recommended is literally what I asked for during the last time I messaged you on Discord, including the Zoom, and you said no. Yes, I did, Farah. I was closed-minded and I was wrong, and I'm changing that now. Andrew says, I would love to see your divergent strategy, because if it's something that works but isn't easy to teach, truth is, if divergence is what's working and what's working, haha, even if it's not the easiest to teach. So, Andrew, you make a great point, and this is where I want to take this conversation next into my plans for MissionFX and how I want it to be as an educational program going into 2021. So before I start that, before I open up that, because this will be the last topic we cover, and it's a very important one. Before we jump into that, if you guys have any other questions or any other comments or anything about what we've talked about so far up to this point, speak your mind. Let's chat about it. I'll wait here for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then we will, if nobody has anything they want to say, then we'll move on to the last portion where you guys will get a glimpse at what MissionFX is going to be like for 2021. Will you have 1 day, 1 hour scheduled Zooms 2021? Yeah, that's what we were talking about in this chat earlier. You can watch the replay if you haven't been on the whole time, Andrew, but essentially we're saying there will be 4 scheduled Zoom calls per week, 1 in early morning Central Standard Time, 1 in late morning Central Standard Time, 1 in the afternoon Central Standard Time, which would allow people in the UK and foreign countries to hop on in their evening. And there would also be a really late session once a week, which would allow people from Australia to be able to get on early in the morning. It would completely serve like almost all clients, like 99% of clients would be able to find at least 1 time per week to jump on a Zoom. All right. Thank you, man. Would there be a priority with who gets their questions answered? There wouldn't need to be a priority. People could just hop on the calls and whoever asks questions gets them answered. That's pretty much how it is now. Yeah, but even then, our average amount of calls to people we get on live sessions are between like 30 and 50. So, I mean, even if it's more, even if it's like 200, 300, 500, most people who get on calls don't ask questions. Most people just kind of like watch the live sessions, and I never hear from them on the calls, but they email me or they let me know in Discord or whatever. They're like, dude, the live sessions are amazing. They're really awesome. Or it's like nobody talks during the call, like except for a few people. But then at the end, I'm like, hey, was this call helpful? And I just get tons of people like saying, yes, 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 yes. These are amazing. Keep doing them. Yes, please record it. So yeah, there wouldn't need to be a priority, because there'd be like everybody who asks a question would get the question covered on the call. Like it wouldn't be like, all right, we're going to do 10 questions today, and after that, fuck you guys, I'm gone. Yes, Andrew, you're asking every question you need. And since last year, I've always been there to answer every single question, and I'm proud of that I've been there. Unless my mind mistakes me, for over a year, I've been there every single time you needed help, whether from Instagram or Discord or whatever. I've never forsaken you, my long lost student. All right, brother. So I'm going to move to the last thing, which is changing how MissionFX works. So here's how MissionFX works right now. MissionFX works as a program, or yeah. So let me just explain it this way. This is how most educational courses work. They work by you make a purchase, and then in exchange you get value, and within this value is its educational content in which I teach you how I trade, and I say that my way is the way that you should trade because it works really well for me, and you may find your own little sort of like variations of it. So it's like this hybrid model of mostly what I do, but then maybe some parts of what you do, or maybe it's half and half, or maybe you use like one thing you learned from me and then 90% of it's something that you found on your own through like YouTube or Google or another course or testing or whatever. So what I want to get away from is I want to get away from the static black and white thinking of people need to do these things this one way. I have a lot of people ask me, you included, Andrew, but I'm not singling you out because a lot of people ask me that. Nick, why'd you take that trade? That goes against what you teach. And then I kind of look at it and I'm like, well, this trade still makes total sense. And yeah, it may be a variation of what I teach, but it's not exactly what I teach. And then so people are like getting confused and mad and they're trying to copy exactly what I'm doing. And so it gets kind of stressful because I'm like, this trade looks great to me. I've been trading 5 years and I like this trade and I want to take it, and I take it and it works out. But then I have clients confused as fuck because they're like, hold on a second. You said this, this, and this, and this, and that goes sort of against this trade right here, or this way that you think, or the way that you answer this question. And so it's hard for me because I'm like, look, I got my own system and you guys got your own systems and this and this. So here's how I want MissionFX to change for 2021. I no longer want it to be a program where you buy it and you get, hey, this is how I, Nick Sean, trade, and this is how you should trade, go and do this. Because what this does is it forces you to think in terms of black and white. It's either correct or it's either not correct whenever I make trading decisions. I'm either following Nick's way or I'm not. And if I'm not, I will be shunned and I'll be like expunged and I'll be treated like shit and then I'll be confused. I don't want MissionFX to be that way. Instead, I want MissionFX to be a dynamic, structured system that can teach you how to go out and craft your own trading system, test it, and then find what works for you and what doesn't. And this would be essentially me teaching all the really simple basics about Forex trading, and then sharing, of course, how I personally trade as well and the different systems that you can use. All right, see you, Vic. We'll see you soon. Cheers, man. And you guys can watch the replays later if you got to go, I understand. So anyway, going back, MissionFX would be a place where you could come in, you could learn all the basic information you need, and then I would teach you literally in a lot of detail, step by step, how to pick different trading rules that could work for you and your time constraints and your psychology and your location in the world and the stuff that you can and can't do, which brokers you can use. Like literally, I would teach you how to craft a trading system that could viably work for you. I would teach you how to back test it. Yes, back test. And then after you back test it, I would teach you how to then go and implement that into forward testing, tracking it, and then gathering a baseline after 2 weeks, optimizing some stuff, going for another 2 weeks, optimizing some stuff, another 2 weeks, another 2 weeks, all for the 2-month demo practice period. But it would be like a step-by-step process for how people could literally craft their entire trading system, and it would be in way more detail than it is right now in the course. And let me tell you what this enables. This for one, it removes the barrier of having to stay within like drawing within the lines, right? It removes the barrier of having to say, this is the one road that I have to follow if I'm in Nick's program or in any program, right? Because that's how most programs are. They don't really teach you how to think for yourself. They teach you, hey, this is how we do it, and this is how you should do it. You should follow this path. And then you do, and then it works for a lot of people, and then it also doesn't work for a lot of people, and then other people end up changing it slightly anyways. So it's like, it's just a very black and white, not the best way to think and teach, in my opinion, anymore. So what I want to do is I want to remove the barriers for the road and say, hey, look, there's this huge field, and then there's all these different ways you can be profitable. You can go over here and pick these flowers and you can be profitable, or you can go over here and pet this donkey and you can be profitable. There's all this different shit you could do. Let me teach you starting from the basics, and then let me teach you what you should focus on, which would still be simplicity and risk management. And then I would teach you, here's how you get your trading rules together, and here's how you pick which things you can add. Here's how you test it, gather the data, and then here's how you start identifying your strengths, your weaknesses. Here's how you analyze your trading results. Here's how you optimize and change things and modify and tweak and test things to get your system even more profitable. Here's how you can play around with risk to reward settings. And nothing would be black and white. Nothing would be static, meaning stationary. Everything would be dynamic and fluid, and there would be no illogical like rules that govern like you can and can't do this. The program would be, you can literally do whatever the fuck you want, and I'm going to teach you how to find what works best for you. That will be what MissionFX goes into in 2021. And it will be really cool because I have people tell me all the time, like, Nick, you trade during New York session. I live in Australia. That's like in the middle of the night. I can't do that. Like, you know, what if I find a trade during London session or the Asian session, Australian session? You know, what if, Nick, you trade on the daily and 4-hour charts, you know, and sometimes even like the 1 hour, you have time to monitor trades, but I don't. What do I do, Nick? And I'm sitting here like, well, maybe just go to the daily, but maybe don't modify your trades and this and that. And it's like structuring MissionFX this way would allow people to literally have something that works so specifically bespoke to them, and it will be their creation. And another thing, it will eliminate people from thinking in black and white terms. You guys see people arguing in the group chat all the time, right? Like, you're not trading Nick's strategy, you're trading this and that. And other people are like, well, this wick off thing works for me, you know, and Nick's stuff, I still use break and retest, but it's only a part of my strategy now. Now I'm trading this, and maybe there's a break and retest here that I'll trade, and that goes with Nick's strategy, but everything else is kind of my own. There would be no more like badgering people or bludgeoning people. Oh, you're doing all sorts of different shit. What you could do is you could learn, you could find something that works well with you, and then whichever one works well for you, you could then go into Discord and you can find your group of like-minded people depending on which trading system you use. If you find that you just want to trade like reversals and divergence and that works well for you on like the minute 5 chart or the 1 hour chart, then you could do that. If you just want to trade trends in the daily and 4 hour because that's all you have time for, you could have a group chat specifically for just the people doing that exact same thing. You could get your feedback loops answered so much more quickly, and it would be so much more of a blossoming environment for you to learn from. And that's where I want MissionFX to go in 2021. I no longer want it to be something where I just teach you how I trade and you hopefully follow the same thing. I want it to be somewhere where I can teach you how to go out and figure out what works best for you through a completely comprehensive, detailed, structured path that will teach you how to gather the information, put it together and arrange it into a trading system that's viable for you, how to test it, how to optimize it, tweak it, and then you could be added to the group chat after you've already started doing that for yourself, because it ensures you're focusing on yourself, and it ensures that you're not getting distracted in the beginning, which is the most like precious time. It's like a child, right? Whenever they're like a sponge, when they're little, they absorb everything. You don't want the wrong shit getting into child's minds whenever they first are like being born. You kind of want to wait, teach them the basics, teach them like how to like, you know, be nice, respectful to people, say please and thank you, all the regular shit. And then as they grow up, then they can start getting more exposed to the world and seeing different things, and it's then all introduced step by step. So that's where I want MissionFX to go into 2021. Again, I'm still working through details. I'm working with my team. We have a Zoom session tomorrow. I was literally talking with Johnny a second ago about it, but I got a Zoom session with Johnny, Stefan tomorrow. But that's where I want MissionFX to go in 2021. So this was the last topic I wanted to cover. I'm going to now leave the microphones or the group chat open to you guys. You guys feel free to hop in, say whatever you want, ask whatever you want, give any suggestions. Your suggestions are very, very, very useful. They've been the most useful thing I've ever seen. So what do you guys got for me? All right, sweet. So nobody has anything at all to say. So I guess I'll ask this instead. Stu says don't change anything. Stu, stuff has to change. Otherwise, people would continue having the same problems. And I don't want people to continue having the same problems. Andrew says, I like that you're moving that way because what works for you may not 100% work for someone else. Paul says, I'm going to second what someone else said about the divergent strat. Guys, you guys want to see some shit? Let me show you some shit right now. I back tested it. This will be sort of venturing off topic, having some fun here for a second. So you guys know how I preach, like, stay on the daily, the H4, the H1, blah, 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 fucking blah. Well, I did back testing on the 5-minute chart and live forward testing for the past week on multiple pairs. I did on the 1 hour chart and everything. And I made a little note section on my phone ready, the trading journal. Every single test I did, whether it was a forward test or a back test, resulted in profitability. And half of these were on the minute 5 charts. One of these things from GJ right here that I'll show you guys in a second. If you would have traded GJ just during the New York session from November 13th to December 7th through December 2nd, you would have made 25%, risking 1% per trade. So if you risk 2% per trade, you would have made 50% for the month. Yeah, trading with 1 to 3 risk rewards with hard stops and everything. And let me show you some of this stuff that I've done. This is just simple back testing. And remember, this is stuff that I preached against, right? This is stuff I was like, minute 5 is stupid, never go there. It was working for me in 2017. The only reason I stopped is because it was so stressful for me to teach. People were like, how do I trade it? I don't have time to trade it. I can't watch the charts at that time, this and that. And so it's like, these would be like 1 or 2 losses. Then you'd have a 1 to 3 risk reward winner. 1 to 3 risk reward winner. 1 to 3 risk reward winner. 1% stop out, but then a 3% winner right after. 3% winner, 3% winner. 3% winner, 3% winner, 3% winner, 1% loser, 3% winner, 3% winner. And this was from November 13th. So just like I showed you guys. So that was back tested data. Also, I've been like doing the same shit. Like here on this, I've been making like a little notes section in this journal that I've been doing and testing this. I've tested it for like almost a week now, but like literally every trade as well as the P&L. And guess what? It still works fine. It literally works like the same as it did back in 2017. It works amazing. And that's how I was able to grow accounts so quickly. But as I started like getting bigger account capital, I had to have better risk management parameters. And I also had to have a way to teach that wasn't confusing the fuck out of everyone. So there's that. Do you draw up your zones in the same time frame as you take entries? Andrew, we'll hold actual mentorship questions for like another time, because right now I just really wanted to focus on like just MissionFX, but we'll definitely get your question answered. Let's save it for another call though, because if I start going in detail about that here, that'll get us off track. Let's do the div strat ASAP, please. Hopefully soon. Yeah, and it works fine. It's literally the same. There's a hard stop in place now, but it's almost identically the same to what I was doing. And if I hadn't been on this call right here, I would have taken this trade with you guys. This was a divergence right here. Like if I hadn't literally been on this call and I was just trading, I would have taken this buy. Something after right there, I would have gotten stopped on the first one. And then I would have had a second try right here. After that spike up, after the spike up, it would have hit target. So yeah. Divergence works great. In my pursuit of trying to keep things simple and trying to teach and trying to be a guru and all this other bullshit, I lost like my focus and I lost my center and I lost all the shit that was beautiful because of all the external factors. And that's okay, because now we're getting back to it. So that being said, that's all I have for you guys. So we've covered a couple feedback things. There was a couple other things, but very myriad like things like here and there. Just like random stuff here and there. A couple people said like, oh, I wish that this was different, or I wish that this was different. But the vast majority of people, like more than half of people, consistently would say shit about the group chat and about the live sessions. And then they would literally tell me what the problems were. It was so helpful having you guys do that, because I literally found exactly what the problems were. It was amazing. It was perfect. So with those problems, I've also have clear solutions in place. I chatted with you guys about that. We also got some more good feedback. Like Gregory is going to give me stuff that Andrew said, Farah said, Jerry said, as well as Lamar putting in those recaps. What are we going to call those? Trade recaps? Yeah. So yeah. So that's where MissionFX is going right now, and also going in 2021. Once I finalize this stuff with my team tomorrow, like I got to meet with Stefan and Johnny, get my last opinions from my team, because they literally help me run all this stuff. So we all need to be on the same page. But once I do that, you should see some of this stuff being like starting to be implemented as soon as next week. And then with the new course update, when that comes out, be everything. Can you have a 1-year mid-year client meetup or something? I've been considering it. I don't know how I feel about doing like meetups. I feel like, I don't know, because I can accomplish the same sort of thing just doing online group mentor shit. Having an in-person meetup, I know it'd be a cool experience for a lot of people, but yeah. I don't know. Because if I did that, I'd probably have bodyguards there and shit, or like police there, because like, if you guys know, you saw my video about someone came to my house because they thought I scammed them with Bitcoin online. And so it's like, there's all this bullshit I have to worry about, like safety of me and Bonnie if I were to do something like that. And I don't know if I'm willing to do that. But it's a good thing, Andrew. I've considered meeting up with like personal clients, but then if people start hearing that I'm meeting up with people like like, you know, like Johnny, like Javier, like there's a couple more people who have said they'd love to come and meet with me in person because like they're like, you changed my life and now I'm trading full time and super happy. I want to fly out to meet you and take you to coffee or something. And I'm like, hey, that's great. But like, if I did that with one person, I have a bunch of people asking me like, dude, like, what about me? And I don't want to take a bunch of time to meet up. Like I barely hang out with anyone. The only person I hang out with outside of Bonnie and family is Momo sometimes. But even then we haven't hung out in like 3 weeks. I'd just rather like be working. And so yeah, so that's everything, guys. This session was recorded, so once the recording finishes up uploading, it will be uploaded to the end of the course for now. And then what will change going into the near future is having a whole, just one clickable section in the course that says live sessions. And then within those live sessions, it'll just be listed links with the date and the link to watch the live session as an unlisted video on YouTube. That'll keep the course like nice and tidy, nice and compact. So yeah. That's it, guys. If you have anything else you'd like to input, please send it to my email. I included all information about that yesterday in the Nix analysis sub chat. Please send me an email. Let me know feedback. Let me know like things that and you can be honest. I mean, none of you guys were like rude in the chats or in the emails, but I want you guys to be honest. Like telling me what you don't like is way more helpful than telling me what you do like. Even though like most of you guys said like, hey, look, it's been amazing. You've done a great job. However, there's this, and this. Those criticisms really help because had I not done that and had you guys not provided me with that, things wouldn't be like getting better. So good. Good deal, Andrew. Good deal, Paul, John, Jerry. Okay, sweet. All right, well, I'm going to hop off now. Again, hit me up if you need anything via email or in Discord. And Paul says, get an essential oil diffuser. I actually have one, man. Bonnie got one. It's like there's really expensive like wall diffusers called Pura. It's like in my wall right here. It's like a lavender one, and it's also got like a little night light on it. Yeah, it improved my profitability like 10%. Yeah, bro. It's funny, dude. Good shit. Nick. All right, guys, I'll hop off now. What's up?
You hear me?
What's up? Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is Maurits from the Netherlands. I just wanted to thank you for also having a flexible mindset to change MissionFX. You know, I'm in one other program that I was in since like 2 or 3 years. That guy just made a series of videos. That was it. Like he drops every week, like the weekly outlook video, but for the rest, he never changes anything. There's been a lot of feedback and a lot of propositions to change anything, but he just doesn't do anything. You have the balls to just change it up, say, okay, I was wrong about, for example, backtesting, and just give like new insights and keep making MissionFX better and better. And that's what I love about your program. Like every couple months it improves, and like you see actually opportunities to make your students better and better. And I just wanted to say that I really love that. I want to quickly thank you for it.
No problem, brother. What was your name again? It says iPhone 7.
Yeah, I'm. You always say Maurits, but it is Maurits from the Netherlands.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sweet, Maurice. I really appreciate your feedback, and I appreciate what you say. Yeah, I've been wrong about plenty of things because I'm not perfect. I'm imperfect. But being a MissionFX, being a customer-centric person, the customers they take priority over what I think is best. They take priority over my ego. They take priority over the profits. As I told you guys, April this year, we did 180 grand in profits for MissionFX. That's how much. Well, it's how much we did in revenue. Profit was like 90K out of all that after ads and after paying my marketing team. But like we did that much of revenue. But in this past month, we did 25K. That's it. That's like half of what I made trading. And we've been like literally, I've like scaled back and not worried so much about marketing, so that way I could focus on the actual product. Not many people are willing to do that. You guys see like a lot of other people, like I won't use any names here, but a lot of other people, just like one that you said, Maurice, who just, they do the same thing. They just sell it, market, but they never actually take a time to focus on customer centricity, which is focusing on that. That's how Tesla's grown insanely. That's how Amazon's grown insanely. That's all these other companies that are still around today and continuing to improve. They focus on their customers. And I know that long term, even though I may be like only making like small amounts of money right now from MissionFX in the short term, I know that long term, if I can get everything right with scale, a completely automated customer acquisition process, a completely automated, as much as possible, value delivery process, such as like giving these live sessions and doing it all in a way that's like amazing and delights the customer and actually gets them results. I know that doing this long term will probably make MissionFX be a company that's still around and better than ever after 5 to 10 years, instead of being a customer that dwindles and dies because it doesn't improve or it doesn't adapt and it doesn't change in a way that impacts customers positively. So I'm glad that you recognize that, Maurice. Good deal.
Exactly.
Andrew
and that's
says,
also eventually what's going to make the best situation for you, I guess. I mean, this will also result in
I know
being to keep on going for you.
exactly. I understand that long term, because I'm 25 right now. All my expenses are like 10K a month. I don't have a kid. I don't have anything with my house, my cars, my food. I spend like 10K a month. I can always make that trading. There's not many months out of the year where I make less than 10K. Usually some months I make 10, 20, 30. Like last month I did 55K. So it's like, I know I'm taken care of. Whatever I make from MissionFX, I don't give a fuck even if we go into the red, be it for a couple months, maybe even like 6 months to a year, which probably wouldn't happen because it's just after taxes and after expenses, it's sometimes it's harder. It's not as profitable as you guys might think, but it's still profitable enough to where it makes it worth the time to do. But I know that I will be taken care of long term if I focus on the customers and the clients. I know that that's what'll get me to doing crazy numbers, which is like $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, $2 million a month in revenue, and at scale, and having a full team and having coaching and having each individual client have an amazing experience to where like 99% of people are just delighted that even if they don't get results after 1 month or 6 months, they're still delighted because they know that MissionFX was there and did every single thing to help them. And then the duty and the burden of getting profitable falls within the actual person doing the work and figuring out what works for them and stuff like that. But yeah, like the customer centricity is a big deal. And I know that long term I'll be taken care of if I take care of my clients. The way I start going south is if I start saying, well, fuck the clients, I'll just charge like $200 and I'll just keep marketing the fuck out of everything, buy a Lambo, post crazy shit on Instagram, get a bunch of influx. And when people buy my program, they won't even know who I am or talk to me or ever have an interaction or ever have a good experience. I see a lot of people coming into my program that have told me they've been in other programs or courses and group chats where everything was just chaotic and they couldn't do this and that. And some clients even have that to say about my program and my group chat. And I'm like, well, that's a problem that needs to be solved. So it's good that it's good that we're all sort of working together to change that. Andrew, you said, I love how you wear the same clothes every day. That way you don't have to focus on decisions that aren't significant and you can focus on your energy on bigger decisions that actually turn your dial. I know you never mentioned that before, but I noticed. Could be wrong about the assumption though. You're right. I mentioned that in a YouTube video and also my new free training video. It's the same Zara shirts from last year. In fact, I've had this shirt since the summer of last year. The same Zara t-shirts. I've got like 5 t-shirts and the same North Face jacket. If you guys look back on my Instagram from over a year ago, like last November when I went to Vail, Colorado on the trip, I was wearing this jacket with the Zara t-shirt underneath. It was the same shit. Same exact clothes. Farah says trade recaps would definitely help because you could see where someone else was going wrong the whole time that they didn't know what they were doing. Yeah, trade recaps would really help a lot. And that group chat would be really good because I could do trade recaps of my trades in there, just like I would be like one of you guys. And then you guys could also share, hey guys, this trade went south. I'm wondering, like I've been noticing a pattern that price will spike past the level or something. And then you guys could like chat about like your recaps on trades. Stu says, I'm here to emulate your trading success. Aren't we all, Stu? I'm trying to emulate people's success like my student Javier. Dude made 160K last month. I've never made that much trading in a month. My best month has been probably like last month, like 55K. Paul says, that's smart business though, because the trading community is not that big and people talk. While some might find short-term success draining clients, they'll never have the longevity as a paid content creator. Kudos to you for being willing to change it up. Yeah, no problem, man. I have big plans for MissionFX, and the only way I'm going to get there is by making things just like I want people to think of MissionFX as like the standard in, if I want to get an education trading Forex, I know that MissionFX is like the only spot that I can get the best education. That's how good I want it to be. That's how good I want the client results to be. Obviously, not everyone will get the most perfect results ever. Obviously, not everyone will like have amazing things to say. But if I can get like anywhere from like a 90 to 95% customer satisfaction rating, I know that people will think as they as they go into they venture out learning, they see all these different courses and content and stuff, and they'll come across Nick, Sean, and MissionFX, and they'll see all the client results. I want people to think in their mind, there is no better place to learn Forex than MissionFX. So I have the option to do that and pay more, or I have the option to pay a little bit and join someone else's course, and I might end up doing well. Or I can not gamble and leave nothing on the table and nothing to chance, and I can just join MissionFX and get a good customer experience and everything. So it's good. Brandon says it's good having a customer focus than a competitor short-term focus. Yeah, Brandon, so I see you've looked over Jeff Bezos's principles for Amazon. Competitor focus is like me looking at other trading gurus and saying, oh, they run a signals group and they're having paid Zoom sessions and they're doing this. So my competitor's doing that and charging this. Fuck, maybe I should change the price of MissionFX to like $250. And it's like competitor centric. It's not an inherently bad business model, but I just think having a customer focus is a more organic way to get there, and also a more positive way, a more healthy way to achieve the end goal, which is having customers that are delighted and also having a profitable business. Andrew says it's insane, 55 in trading and selling a course. I was talking to my girlfriend how awesome that is. You make a great course that takes whatever 100, 200 hours to make, resell it for 1K plus to fund your trading. That's so good. Yeah, it is good. Not many people buy it for 1,500. And in fact, I changed the whole business model. There's no longer any bullshit discount where it's like, oh, it's 1,500, but get it for 997. On the sales page, it's just 997. And if people ask for a discount, I say, no, there's no discount. The price is never going up and it's never going down. It is 997. That is what everyone pays. And there's no Black Friday deals or no bullshit. And I think that retains the value long term. Because like you guys see a lot of, I don't want to name any names, but you guys all know this. Everybody, like you guys saw like during Black Friday was doing Black Friday deals, and they're discounting their information that they say is valuable by like 50%. Some of them even more. Some of them like 90 or 80%. And I was like, what are people even buying if the person who's selling it is willing to give them like a 90% discount? You don't see fucking like heart surgeons on Black Friday saying like, hey, you need a heart surgery to change your life so that you can literally survive. It's normally 20K, but I'll only charge you 10K, 50% off Black Friday deal. You don't see heart surgeons doing that because the product sells itself and customers pay for that value. You don't need to discount it if it's good. Same with Lamborghinis. Fuck yeah. Same with Teslas. Elon Musk does not give discounts on Teslas. The price is the price. There's no deals. There's no feedback. There's no slashing the price. Everyone pays the same price, whatever the set price is. And of course, Tesla's continually lowering their prices on Teslas, but there's never any like sale is what I'm saying. And that's good. It keeps the value. Same with Porsche, like everything. The best companies in the world retain their value and they don't discount their valuable work. It shouldn't need a discount. So anyway, I'm going to hop off now. I've got Bonnie in here. Hang out for a little bit. I'll turn off the microphone. But yeah, you guys have a good one. I will chat with you guys either via email or in Discord. It was a great Zoom session. Again, this will be uploaded to the course. You guys have a good one. I'm going to go chill with Bonnie and my dog now. Cheers, everyone. Peace out, Mark. See you, Greg. See you, Gabe. See you, everyone. Peace.